Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you an anime review on Code Geass Episode 9. This episode... wow. The character development of Colin. I cannot believe that. Like, her mother, her standpoint, like, in society, like, finding out the reason why Colin is technically fighting. I'm like, oh my god. When I see this episode and I saw her motive and the reason why she fights and why she was part of the resistance, it now makes so much more sense. Her entire situation with her mother and father is something else. Like, I was incredibly shocked to see the backstory to her. Now, I've heard a bunch of Chibits tell me that this series goes in and develops each individual character. I've heard from fellow Chibits that this series does do that, which has me really happy, because there's a lot of series I've watched, even from this year, that have a lot of side characters that are kind of pushed to the back burner and allow the main character to shine. I'm glad some of these side characters are actually getting some development, like Colin in this episode, getting to see her development, her backstory, and her motive, and the reasons why she kind of hates Britannia. It now makes a lot more sense, because in this episode, her mother, her legit absolute mother, blood-related mother, is an 11, or a Japanese. And the thing is that her mother is a maid that works in the, like, royal house, or whatever house there currently is at. And Colin is actually half 11, half Britannian. And I'm like, whoa. And the thing was, okay, the actual mother, that's, you know, technically the wife of the real father of, you know, Colin's, you know, father, is technically her stepmother, or not real mother. And the mother, like, the stepmother doesn't know this. The stepmother has no idea that Colin is not related to her. I'm willing to bet she has no idea she is related to her, and they're not blood related. And the thing is, how fucked up it is to see how Colin has to look at her mother, that is technically an 11, being treated the way she's being treated by the Britannians. That right there, in of itself, is just fucked up. I don't even want to know and imagine the hell she has went through for her entire life. I mean, we get a glimpse at it a little bit. I mean, we see slight hardship she has went through, but I feel mainly more sadder for the mother. The mother, her situation, it makes me really sad, because at the end of the episode, she's getting taken away to prison, as you can see, like, for 20 years. She's going to prison. That's how pretty much the end of this episode describes it. And it's not just that either. Pretty much the mother stayed around Colin the entire time. Even though she was a maid and didn't get treated like a proper mother, she stayed around her daughter to be around her and to watch her grow up, pretty much. And that in of itself is just sad. It's really sad. And what makes it sadder is that Colin had no idea the reason why her mother was always around, acting like the way she acted, letting herself, you know, being picked on and shoved aside, you know, by the stepmother. She did that because she wanted to be around her daughter. And even though she had so much pain to be around her daughter, she eventually drove her to take drugs. Pretty much relive the happy time she had when she was in Japan before it got taken over by Britannia. So to see this, it just shows us another aspect of this world of currently the, like, I guess, dictatorship that currently leads on top of Japan. Or the entirety of the world, like 1/3 of the world, because they're forced in this situation, being, you know, preyed upon and prejudiced against, and it's really sad seeing something like this. So this episode was a very good example of showing you the hardships that Britannians do against, you know, the Japanese. Like, you know, how Japanese get tortured pretty much, technically, physically, and mentally. Like, you see this poor dude, this, you know, Japanese, he's getting picked on, he's being, like, beat in the middle of the street. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, if we were to go out, okay, outside of our house or somewhere, or go in the city, and we see someone getting beat, what would you honestly do? Would you want to help this dude? I definitely would. And when I saw this dude getting beat in this episode, I'm like, dude, just Lelouch, kill those bastards. Just fucking kill those bastards. Seriously, they are bastards, because sitting there beating this poor dude, and everybody's just sitting there watching, like, yeah, no, oh, it's standard. And I'm like, that's sickening, and it's repulsive. It really is. It's just really fucking sickening seeing something like that done, but it goes further than that. The reason why the dude did not try to resist, like, he was letting himself get hit and all that, and nobody really messed with him, is because of the standpoint in his situation, like, where he stands in the entirety of the grand scheme of things. Like, that one dude, he is technically an 11, okay? And he is technically an honorary Britannian, because he's got citizenship, but still, he is still considered an 11. And a lot of prejudice is still put on top of him, especially how we got to see Suzaku, you know, getting pretty much picked on a couple episodes back, how he couldn't fit in and stuff like that. Well, with this, we see how if anyone would have stood up to stop this dude from getting beaten by those Britannians, that dude would have lost his job. He would have straight up lost his job and his livelihood. And so, it just goes to show you the standpoint of some of these people have to stand in. Like, you know, where they stand in society. And they can't do nothing about it. And I find it really commendable what Lelouch is actually doing. I mean, he's become the ally of justice. He's declared war against the entire world, pretty much, or Britannia itself. And he is going around pretty much being the police force of the citizens. Like, he's killing all these people that are technically starting illegal drugs, doing things that people can't, like, you know, get crimed for. Like, let's say politician stuff that, you know, can get past crimes and they're fine. Well, he's going all around and actually killing these people to get justice. And in turn, he's getting the people on his side. So I see what Lelouch is doing. He's trying to get people on his side, and he's building a good backing. Like, you know, he's making it to where everybody looks at him, he's like, oh, dude, Zero is amazing. He's an amazing person. He's, you know, justice itself, and Britannia is wrong. He's pretty much building up morale. And I like that. I really, really like getting to see how Lelouch is doing something like this, and at the exact same time, he is slowly building up an army and respect from other people. So it's just intriguing. And it's not just that either. Also, we get some slight dialogue in this episode. Pretty much, the dialogue we get states, like you have Colin actually say about Lelouch, or Zero technically, because she knows him as Zero. She states they really want to know what he really looks like underneath the mask. A lot of people do. A lot of the Black Knights want to know exactly what he truly looks like. But she states, like, if they were to find out his face, he most likely would disappear altogether. And they can't lose him just yet. That's what she states. So, I wonder exactly when Lelouch will reveal his face. I mean, that is most likely when that happens. It might be when Lelouch has finally won the public and won Britannia over, like a lot of the citizens. I want to bet that's exactly when he will reveal his face. Overall, great episode. Loved it. Just straight up loved it. Oh my god, it's getting harder and harder to resist watching the next episode back to back. Like, I'm not joking. After this episode, I was debating in my mind, before I started this review, I want to watch the next episode. I was like, I want to watch this next fucking episode. Like, I really, really wanted to watch the next episode. Like, I almost started the next episode without doing this review. I was just that fucking tempted. It was just that damn good. I'm like, oh my god. So, yeah, that just goes to show you my level of hype right now, okay? So, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe, and Chibi out.